This poem is called For the Chinese New Year and for Bill Berkson. It has an epigraph from D.H. Lawrence, who is also necessary, I think, along with French poetry. One or another is lost, since we fall apart endlessly, in one motion depart from each other. Behind New York there's a face, and it's not Sibelius's with a cigar. It was red, was strange and hateful, and then I became a child again, like a nadir or a zenith or a nudnik. What do you think of this is my youth, and the aged future that is sweeping me away, carless and gasless under the Sutton and Beekman places, towards a hellish rage? It is there, that face, I fear, under ramps. It is perhaps the period that ends the problem as a proposition of days, just an attack on the feelings that stay poised in the hurricane center, that eye through which only camels can pass. But I do not mean that tenderness doesn't linger like a Paris afternoon or a wart, something dumb and despicable that I love, because it is silent. Oh, what difference does it make me into some kind of space statistic? A lot is buried under that smile, a lot of sophistication gone down the drain to become the mesh of a mythical fish, at which we never stare back, where there is so much downright forgery. Under that, I find it restful, like a bush. Some people are outraged by cleanliness. I hate the lack of smells myself, and yet I stay. It is better than being actually present, and the stare can swim away into the past, can adorn it with easy convictions: rat, cow, tiger, rabbit, dragon, snake, horse, sheep, monkey, rooster, dog, and pig, flower drum song, so that nothing is vain, not the gelded sand, not the old spangled lotus, not my fly, which I have thought about but never really looked at. Well, that's a certain orderliness of personality. If you're brought up Protestant enough a Catholic, oh, shit on the beaches, so what if I did look up your trunks and see it? Then the parallel becomes an eagle parade of Busby Berkeleyites marching half-toe. I suppose it's the happiest moment in infinity, because we're dissipated and tired and fond. No, I don't think psychoanalysis shrinks the spleen. Here we are, and what the hell are we going to do with it? We are going to blow it up like Daddy did, only us. I really think we should go up for a change. I'm tired of always going down. What price glory? It's one of those timeless, priceless words like come. Well now, how does your conscience feel about that? Would you rather explore tomorrow with a sponge? There's no need to look for a target, you're it. Like in childhood, when the going was aimed at a sandwich, it all depends on which three of us are there. But here come the prophets with their loosening nails. It is only as blue as the lighting under the piles. I have something portentous to say to you, but which of the papier-mâché languages do you understand? You don't dare to take it off paper, much less put it on. Yes, it is strange that everyone fucks and everyone mentions it, and it's boring, too, that faded floor. How many teeth have chewed a little piece of the lover's flesh? How many teeth are there in the world? It's like Harpo Marx smiling at a million pianos. Call that Africa? Call it New Guinea. Call it Poughkeepsie, I guess. It's love, I guess. The season of renunciation is at hand. The final fatal hour of turpitude and logic demise is when you miss getting rid of something. Delouse is when you don't louse something up. Which way is the inn? I'm looking for $1 million heart and a carton of frozen strawberries like the Swedes. Where is sunny England and those fields where they stillbirthed the wars? Why did they suddenly stop playing? Why is Venice a summer festival and not New York? Were you born in America? The inscrutable passage of a lawnmower punctuates the newly installed music in the Schubert Theater. Am I nuts, or is this the happiest moment of my life? Who's arguing? Tis, Lord's sakes, it took Daddy a long time to have that accident so Aunt Grace could get completely into black. Didn't you know we was all going to be Zen Buddhists after what we did? You sure don't know much about war guilt or nothing. And the peach trees continued to rejoice around the prick which was for once authorized by our Congress, though inactive. What if it had turned out to be a volcano? That's a mulatto of another nationality of marble. It's time for dessert. I don't care what street this is. You're not telling me to take a tour, are you? I don't want to look at any fingernails or any toes. I just want to go on being subtle and dead like life. I'm not naturally so detached, but I think they might send me up any minute, so I try to be free. You know, we've all sinned a lot against science, so we really ought to be available as an apple on a bough. Pleasant, though fresh, air-free, love, cross-pollinization. Oh, God, how I'd love to dream, let alone sleep. It's night. The soft air wraps me like a swarm. It's raining and I have a cold. I'm a real human being with real ascendancies and a certain amount of rapture. What do you do with a kid like me? If you don't eat me, I'll have to eat myself. It's a strange curse my generation has. We're all like the flowers in the Agassiz Museum, perpetually ardent. Don't touch me, because when I tremble it makes a noise like a Chinese wind bell. It's that I'm seismographic is all. And when a Jesuit has stared you down forever after you clink. I wonder if I've really scrutinized this experience like you're supposed to have if you can type. There's not much soup left on my sleeve. Energy, creativity, guts, ponderableness. Lent is coming in, imponderableness. I'd like to die smiling. Ugh. And a very small tiptoe is crossing the threshold away. Whither, Lumumba, whither, oh, whither, Gauguin? I have often tried to say goodbye to strange phantoms I read about in the newspapers and have always succeeded, though the ones at home are dependent on dependable laboratory and sales company on Pulaski Street. Strange. I think it's goodbye to a lot of things like Christmas and the Mediterranean and halos and meteorites and villages full of damned children. Well, it's goodbye then, as in Strauss or some other desperately theatrical venture. It's goodbye to lunch, to love, to evil things, and to the ultimate good as well. The strange career of a personality begins at 5 and ends 40 minutes later in a fog. The rest is just a lot of stranded ships honking their horns full of joy-seeking cadets and bloomers and beards. It's okay with me, but must they cheer while they honk? It seems that breath could easily fill a balloon and drift away, scaring the locusts in the straggling gray of living dumb exertions. Then the useful noise would come of doom, of data, turned to elegant decoration, like a strangling prince once ordered. No, there is no precedent of history, no history, nobody came before, nobody will ever come before, and nobody ever was that man. You will not die not knowing this is true this year.
I'll just stand back here and play for a while.
Yeah.